When considering Uganda's economy, it is impossible to neglect the critical importance of livestock reared by pastoral and agro-pastoral people in what is commonly known as the cattle corridor. Unfortunately, pastoralism is often marginalized by policymakers who see it as a backward, economically unproductive, and environmentally destructive livelihood. These views are not informed by findings from scientific research that confirm that pastoralism is well adapted to the dryland regions, producing significant economic benefits to the people who live there, as well as to the country as a whole. For the people living in Uganda's northeastern region of Karamoja and other pastoral regions across Uganda, pastoralism is both an economic and a cultural asset. But the contribution of pastoralism to the nation's economy and society is not widely appreciated across Uganda. Much of this stems from misunderstandings about pastoralism as a system and the benefits it can have on both land and the economy.
I think the mindset is that pastoralism has a negative connotation. It's not a productive system.
All along, what has been going on is a very strong level of ignorance on the pastoralism and a certain perception that it's rather a cluster of people whose activity is backward, transposed within the narrative of modern economy.
For long, Karamoja has been a neglected region. Probably when you begin to compare it with other parts of Uganda, you'll realize that there's so many social services missing in as far as the well-being of humanity in Karamoja is concerned.
Government policies have limited pastoral mobility, not appreciating its strategic value in raising the productivity of livestock in dryland areas like Karamoja, where rainfall is variable, scattered, and unpredictable.
Policies should be mindful of people's way of life. For example, the land policy. They should promote the land policies that support ways of life, the pastoral way of life.
Our country has different agroecological zones, and they have different kind of endowments in terms of the potential for agricultural production. And these environments where we find most of the livestock in Uganda, for example, what we call the cattle corridor, it houses about 80% of the livestock. And actually, about 80% of the milk and the beef that we have in this country is produced within that region. And the pastoral people actually have more than 50% of those animals.
For the past 2 years, members from KRSU, the Karamoja Resilience Support Unit, have met with university leaders, government officials, and members of the community to design and implement university-level courses in order to train a new generation on the 3 pillars of pastoralism: the natural resources, the herd, and the family and institutions.
So what comes from this effort is a new way which is quite reconstructed about how to understand pastoralism, and that it does coexist with what we would call modern agriculture or modern farming. In fact, what this effort has helped us to discover is that pastoralism is part of a system of modern agriculture, modern way of animal farming, which in a sense gives us an opportunity then to see pastoralism from a more informed perspective.
Pastoralists understand the benefits of mobility and believe that through education, the misconceptions about their system can not only be reversed, but affect positive change in Uganda's agricultural sector.
We identified a gap in understanding of the pastoral production system in the Karamoja region. The gaps is with academics and research and policy makers in terms of there are a lot of negative narratives and stereotype about the pastoral production system. So we thought that bridging this gap could contribute to that understanding and also probably support to the production system.
In April of 2019, the group came together one final time in order to discuss and determine accreditation systems in order to properly implement this training into their respective universities and communities.
We have had a pastoralism defined for us into 3 pillars, which have been the core of our interaction. The first being, one of them being the heart, then the other the family, and then natural resources. So we have been handling, they have been training us a lot on these 3 pillars. And then we also had other aspects of policy. We tried to review the policies as they are in Uganda.
Through dialogue with each other, members of the community, and government officials, members at the April meeting were able to assess the current issues surrounding the implementation process and collaborate to create a system to slowly begin unfolding these trainings within the university setting.
Yesterday we hosted the senior level management from the Ministry of Agriculture, and it was very clear that the new rangelands policy is already accommodative of this new mindset, a shift that appreciates pastoralism in its entirety.
I've been impressed because of the policy, the presentation by Dr. Kajura yesterday. You know, all along we have been saying, where is this policy, where is this policy? This policy is hidden somewhere, but I'm happy that a revised version of 2016 is already out and it's already in the cabinet. I'm just excited about that because the policy is going to be in place, and whatever development, whatever programs that we are going to come out with, we already have a backing of this policy that will be made into a law when it reaches the House of Parliament.
Since we've now been able to have a very clear discussion with institutional heads, and as we look forward to launching, we can clearly see that the narrative is changing.
With all training sessions completed, it is now up to each individual policymaker, academic, and community member to begin the implementation process.
Soon we shall see Gulu University or Makerere University starting certificate programs or diploma programs on pastoralism.
For Makerere University, it will be implemented under existing programs at the undergraduate, at the postgraduate, and at research level. And I see very many opportunities or windows where this program has a home.
I am personally excited about bringing this program to the university because I do believe it goes in the direction of preserving some of our African practices. It preserves the indigenous knowledge systems, and it brings it into the mainstream as an option that needs to be followed. And this goes on with other things that, as Gulu University, we are trying to push.
We teach a course on rural development, and some aspect of that course in rural development is pastoralism. And this is an opportunity to strengthen the course in rural development and make it more relevant by bringing relevant examples coming out of this project.
It has been very good because the outcome is already out. The textbook, a draft textbook is already out. We are already working on the teaching materials. To me, I really think it is timely because we are supposed now to begin integrating this, and for the Constituents College, we are supposed to start a short course, which to me, I think it should not take long. It is going to be very, very soon.
As an individual, I've dedicated my working life to defending the rights of pastoralists, and this course is an investment in the right direction.